mavur b'toishus and Sanhedrin. Ad kan. V'day l'chakima b'remiza. Okay, let's go now do this. Okay, hopefully we'll get a lot done. So we learned the Gemara Daf Kuf Chafei. Let's just go back and read that Rav Blachman inside. We had Rav Huna that said that what? That the Baal is not the Baroik of music, and Rav Blachman said, Kalaima acharecha kerem me'achshav dami. Now, what does it mean, Kalaima acharecha kerem me'achshav dami? The Rav Blachman wrote, Divrei Maslu, Kalaima me'achshav. Let's read that. Kivin the Amar, we're in the third wide outline. Kivin Amar Basrola Yarsoi, the Haina Labas, Haina Nami, Kamei Shama Miyad, Anino Sain Es Aguf Akaka Labiti, Elish Kenasi, Tochal Perot Bechaya. She will be eating Peris Bechaya, but I'm giving the give Akaka to the daughter. Akakach Tikach Biti, Oya Bamikoiches an Nechashin. And afterwards, she will take the Nechasim. When she will take the Nechasim, because at the moment the Nechasim are Meshubit for the Paris to the mother, the grandmother, but Lamaisa, although she's Balaguf, she can't even take them. The Chasher of Una Legabibas Kim Matnas Matanas Ma'ayoim, Ulacher Misa, the Uka Chevel Abbas Muzekis Bachia Bahana Nechasim, Vichikayaris Baal, Shapakiyas B'Muzik. This is the Rashba. That what it sound like? Any matan, which is a yom la'achar misa, mean to say the guf is now, and afterwards, and what? And the peiros come la'achar misa, which every child is going to ask the question: if that's the case, how do the peiros happen? If you don't have the peiros now, how exactly do you get the peiros la'achar misa? How does he give you the peiros la'achar misa? We will elaborate on that question in 2 minutes, but ask yourself the question: how does it? Is it an automatic reality? If you don't have the peiros and you only have the guf, well, now who's supposed to be giving you the peiros? We just said ma'ayoim ulachar misa means the guf is not, and the peiros is not. The peiros is my grandmother. Okay, at what point of time am I giving you the peiros, or how do you get the peiros? How can they give you the peiros? I'm dead. I'm not around anymore. Okay, so let's say if I'm not around, what are we talking about? Why would you get? How exactly are you going to get the peiros? Just extend that to yourself. Okay, we're going to go further in a minute. We'll see a bit more. First, what does the Gemara say on? So that's question number one. Obviously, why is that a problem? Because if you open up the Gemara in Daf Kuf Lamed. Oh God. Hey, there you have the Gemara where the Gemara says in the Mishnah rather, the Mishnah says in Kuf Lamed Hey Amid Beis, Misha Mace, a person that died, or Nimtzes died to Kikshura Yerecho, there was a tzavah shchivara tied to his knee and to his thigh. In other words, we know he wrote it, it wasn't forged. Hareza in the klum, because what he wanted was a tzavah. He wanted to. Why is it in the klum? Zok Rashbam. This is here for substantiating and for and that this happened. Someone else wrote it, but no, we take for granted that he wrote it. Hareza in the klum. Sha'afilu im hirzik acher misa ba'osei ashtar shenichtav aloi hamatana loikani. Even if he was magzik, im hirzik acher misa ba'osei ashtar. He was magzik. The kaina was magzik ba'osei ashtar shenichtav aloi hamatana loikani. The afal gav the tzavah shchimra kaina la'acher misa. Although the tzavah v'shchiber when oral is kind of lachar misa, hanimila this only happens today. The reason that's a din drabana today shaloi titorev died to Allah. We made it takana that he shouldn't go very nervous and this may hasten his death. So we decided that if he expresses intent, it's enough. Today shaloi to the avakayach ashtar loy adif kitzava. So the kayach ashtar is not like his oral command. Once you said that you wrote a star, that means how do you want it to happen? By him picking up the star. Nu ve'ein shtar la'achar misa. There's no such thing as a shtar la'achar misa. Now, what's the language? Ve'ein shtar la'achar misa. What's the chisoron exactly by ein shtar la'achar misa? What do those words mean? How do you understand it? What do you say ein shtar la'achar misa? It sounds to say like there's a chisoron in the gufa shtar. What's that ein shtar la'achar misa? Was meint das? What do those words mean? Ein shtar la'achar misa. What exactly is the chisoron of ein shtar la'achar misa? He goes weiter and he says, the Gemara said that's question number one when you read this. The Gemara says on that, we'll go down in the Gemara like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lines. Amar Abaye, Hachi Kiyama, Ezu Matnas Bori. What is the matan of a healthy person? He's not a shchivmera. Shehi ke matnas shchivmera, which is like a matnas shchivmera, which means what? The laikani ela la'achar misa, you acquired only achar misa. Kol shekoseba bi'ayayim ula'achar misa. All, anything which is written in it, mihayayim ula'achar misa. This is what's written over there. Now let's try to understand what this is. Zot the Rashba. Ezi matanis bari shetikne kol shekoseba mihayayim. No, that's a little further. No, here it is. Let's read from this one. Ezi matnas boy shetikna kol shekoseba mihayayim de mashru achi gufa knuya lach mihayayim upeirel achar misa. Avo iloya v'koseba mihayayim einay kaine. Why? The ein matana la'achar misa. There's no matana la'achar misa. Why? Sharei ein koyach la'adam litein mikaydin lachein. You don't have the possibility of giving earlier. Davar shelo yuchal aknes b'isas man shiras yishkem matana. I can't give you now something that if when I want it to happen, I'm doing a ma'aser now and I want it to happen later. That can only be happen if I could sell it to you later. If I could give it to you later, then I can give it to you now. That should happen later. This is the language of it. And now what? He's dead and buried. Now, does he write you can't give it because you don't own it anymore? Does he say you can't give it if you're a ger shemeis because it's hefker, it's not yours? Does he say you can't give it because it now belongs to your yorshim? Or say you can't give it because you're dead and buried? The implication seems to be a chesaron in the ma'aser kinyan. It's because the ma'aser kinyan can't be chal then, therefore it can't make a ma'aser kinyan for them. That's what he seems to be writing. It's a chesaron in the ma'aser kinyan. They come twice from this language of the Rashba. It's interesting because if you're looking at Kuf Lamed Vav Amid Aleph, you have a Mishnah there. The Mishnah says Akaisav Nechasav Lebanav, which means to say a Rashbam says Bari Shiraitza Lisa Isha. Ve'ena Raitza L'Shabbat Nechasav L'Ishtay. He doesn't want to not be Mishabbat. Isn't Nechasim for his wife for the Ksuba. Ben Yafsidu. He's afraid his children from the previous wife will lose on the deal. Right? So he now wants to give the nechasim. He's about to get married. He's going to take the nechasim. He's going to give it la'achar misa to his original sons. Tzorich sheyichtay mehayom la'achar misa. Dr. Rashbam, why? The masher mehayom yeh koni l'cha aguf levadai. You see the lashon? Nigmeres hamatana shetochal gam peres la'achar misasi. The implication is that not that I have to be maknit again, but rather I'm doing something now which has the memela dike gemar. It happens alone. Nigmeres hamatana la'achar misasi. And your question immediately asks, what's the dynamic of this nigmer samatana? But if he didn't say ma'ayom, he didn't give them anything. Why is it the Rashbam? The ein matana la'achar misa. Why? The ba'i shaita at that point of time la'achar misa ein lo chelik ben. He doesn't own it. Why? He's dead. He doesn't own it. Who owns it? Whoever is the Irish. If he says Niten la'achar misas, then for goodness sake, so he's not the one that's going to give it. Whoever is the right Yerush, if hypothetically, for whatever reason, it was meshubah to his wife is going to have it. It's interesting to see that the Rashbam here in Kuf Lamed Hey Amid Al Beis, when he mentions the idea of Ein La'achar Misah, he's talking about that you can't do a Maisa. And over here, he's talking about that the thing doesn't belong to you. One of two. It seems to be saying now, we're talking about the exact same thing. We're talking about Ayem La'achar Misah. Now, to stick this idea of Ein Lechelik Ba in the Rashbam in Kuf Lamed Hey Amid Beis, no, we can Efsher Tan. I think it's a bit madna. The idea Achar Shemeis v'Nikvar doesn't sound, Mameli doesn't own it. The fact that he's dead and buried is not the reason. The reason is because simply he's a bailer. It belongs to someone else. So it would seem to be, and yet the Rashbam on the same topic in Kuf Lamed Vav Amid Beis points out another reason. The reason is simply because you don't own it. So a mace can't do a maisa. B, number one. C, there's nothing to do a maisa with. This seems to be two aspects of this, and it's both found l'chayra in this Rashbam. Now the emes is just I want to find something here. The emes is that we have a similar thing in Rashi. That's the honest truth. We have a similar thing in Rashi. Where's this in Rashi? Let me show you another Rashbam just to make it easier. Rashbam writes in Kuf Nun Bey Zamed Aleph. Okay, I can take literally the last three lines of the Rashbam will be more than enough for what I want to say over here. A man writes a star. He's a shchimmer. He writes a star. What the shaila is, what happens if a person a shchimmer which also wrote a star? What's the halacha? We learned this once. So the Rashbam writes the v'masal hayodin ma'adin bay in the last three lines. He writes, "Inami eina kiyin kasa b'shtar v'gam ashtar lo nichtav klal el shetziva v'nosam l'chaim kol nechasa b'tzavah shkimera u'makdim b'suder eina kiyin typhus shelo nizkaven la'aknot elo la'achar misa the shemeis naflu nechasim kame yorshim v'su l'chai l'matanosoi weiter steht in Rashbam. In other words, there's nothing, you don't own it to give it. This is very similar to the Rashbam. Kuf Lamed Vav Amid Aleph. Yet we have the Rashbam and Kuf Lamed Hey Amid Beis, which you say something else. Now this is some mishpacha machla. I find this is a thing like this also by Rashi. He does this with the Rashi and Gittin. Okay, Rashi and Gittin, which you learned not long ago. Naf Yud Gimel. First one, Tes Amid Beis. We discussed this at the time. Rashi and Tes Amid Beis and Gittin discusses the idea of that you wrote a get shikhr, so you can't give it la'achar misa. It was mizah give it get shikhr. He wasn't zeicher for the evid immediately. La yitnei la'achar misa. Zokter Rashbam, Rashi, why not? Lo yitnei la'achar misa. Va'afil rabban da'amr shichur avodim schusu v'zochen shlei b'fanav nehid la'achi zocher beid le'imotze meheder bei miu meider rabban l'kokam le'imotze gita liyodeh. You must remember that it's a famous riff, those who learn Gittin, right? If it didn't get the star in his hand, he's not free yet. Why? And I need, it's not enough for me to be mizaka to get to the Evid. That only allows the fact that now he controls it and I cannot revert from my rutzen to be mishachar. But Papayel, the shikhr is chal, this also does a riff only when the Evid has the star in his hands. So he says, well, if by then you died, now there's no more need of a maisa at all because you basically did whatever you had to do. You can't be chayzer, okay? But afal pikein, what do we say? Kivin the meis kodim sulay ever shikru shikru the navkele rishus mine. He's out of his rishus. V'chaya le rishus yorshim. As soon as you're dead, you're not the meshachmer anymore. And afal pi that you did a maisa shikru, it doesn't matter. You're not the bailim for the chalais. You can't do that. You can't work. You're not the meshachar. So he says, why can't it work lachar misa? Because you're not the bailim. This is not Tes Amid Beis. In Yud Gimel of Alf, he says the same thing. This is the Mishnah. Imet nu get zeli ishti shashich la'avdi umeis lo yitnu lachar misa. If I said, give a shtar shikhr to my evet, You can't give la'achar misa. Zok Rashi, why? The gita leheva the motel liyadei. Once again, when is the shtar shikra a shikra? Only after it gets into his hand. V'chi motel liyadei hameisle mishachrer. The mishachrer is dead, and therefore what? Upaka le rishusei. He doesn't have the bailus anymore, so he's not a mishachrer. It's very simple. So here we see that. So it's very clear we have two Rashis which write that, but the opposite is true. There's another Rashi. Okay, this is two Yibuvus to Rashi, but there's a Rashi in Ksubas, with the famous Rashi in Ksubas, Stav Beis, Amid Beis, and there's a Mascha Ena Mesim Megarshin. So what the Rashi says over there, the Gemara is talking about a get la'achar misa, and Rashi says, let me just find it for a moment. It should be over here. Let's see well. Here it is. Who daina get all the shavi gita ad yud beis chodesh v'umeis toichas mad. You said the ayat megureshes is going to be la'achar yud beis chodesh, and you died in the middle. Uman ka megarish lo mihashto eina meisa megarshim. Who's going to do the gershon? Dead people can't make a get. Who's going to be the megarish? So he doesn't say because she's already mutter because she's an almana, she's not his wife. He says simply because Eina Mesim Megarshim. I want to point this out. Now, why Rashi chooses A versus B, it doesn't matter at the moment. I see clear in Rashi that there are two chisroinis by Achar Misa. That's what I need. One chisron is in the Gavra can't be a Megarish, can't do a Meising. Eina Mesim Megarshim. It doesn't say because there's no Ishisish, because there's no Bailus. A Meis can't be a Megarish. That's number one. Dasach Chesron in the Shem Megarish as much as it has to be a Meisegerish. Now there's another Allah. The other Allah is she's not connected to you anymore. What are you going to cut? There's enough convenience. There's exercise on this base. I don't. It's not negated to me to explain. But at the end of the truth, there are two realities. Now, hypothetically, as far as Rashi is concerned, one could differentiate between the sugyas. That's what we did when we learned Gittin. But the Rashbam is talking about the same topic. In Kufla Midhem and Bez and Kufla Midvav Amarav, he's talking about the same thing. And here he starts Bekad V'Shamsi and B'Chavis. Now I'm not going to go into that now. I'd love to, but now, but it clearly means whatever we know, there are two viable truths. That's what's important to know at the moment. So I definitely know that that's the getter of that's the truth. And the truth is that a person cannot give a matana la'achar misa. A, he's not a nice, and B, it's not his anymore to give. Those are two things that are true. So this we clearly know. In light of this, I want to understand how does exactly work by when I say hayayim la'achar misa mimanav shech. So Rashbam points out I want to understand what this means. How does it work? How does it work? If you have the guf now and you don't have the peiros, who's makning you the peiros? Who's the Baal HaPeiros? Baal HaPeiros is mine. If the Baal HaPeiros is mine, we come to see how do you suddenly get it? If I was makning the guf, I was not makning you the peiros. Is it possible to do such thing? Of course it's possible to do such thing. I can sell peiros to somebody, not tell them the guf. If I say explicitly you only have the peiros and you don't have the guf, you don't have the guf. Okay, so I want to understand what's happening here in this halacha. Okay, the fact that this is very daimah to Matan Shchivra is also seen in another place in Kufla Medzayin and Medalef, where the Gemara says, Rashbam writes explicitly that he's mashva Matan Shchivra to Acharecha, and he writes in the Ramasul Umayde. I don't know if you learned the Gemara yet. There he writes quite explicitly that Eino Chanami. By Kufla Medzayin, he writes first that in both of them the case is that it's only Chal La'achar Misa. It says, oh, this is true by Matan Shchivra, and it's also true by Yom La'achar Misa. No, this is a first Rashbam. Okay, we're going to read it. I suggest you read it on your own, but it's a long piece. Okay, at the end of the day, was tutzachda. How does it work? That's the question on the table. Lamaisa, there's an instant, the Gemara says, the Gemara in Bab Metzia, Daf Yotes. There's the Gemara Bab Metzia. Gemara Bab Metzia, Daf Yotes. It's a memory of Abaya. In Bab Metzia Yotes Medalef, it's a memory of Abaya, and Abaya says there, last 4 lines of the page, Amar Abaya, Hachi Ka Amar, Ezu Matnas Bori, She'i Ke Matnas Shchivra. The Leikani Ela La'achar Misa. What is a matnas boy, which is like a matnas chimera, which you're only kind of la'achar misa? What is it? Kol shekaseba mihayoim ula'achar misa. It's mihayoim ula'achar misa. This is called what? A matana, which is like a matnas chimera. Now, what does that mean? So the Rashba writes over there. I sent it to you in your on the WhatsApp chat, so I suggest you look it there now. The Lusha, the Rashba there is Ezu matnas bori shuki matnas chimera. Kol shekaseba mihayoim ula'achar misa. So I'm reading the Rashba. I hope you have it with you. Pirish Rashi's out. Rashi explains, Ezu matnas bori shuki matnas chimera. Doikana hakoil ad la'achar misa. He writes in first, Doikana hakoil ad la'achar misa. Kol shekaseba mihayoim ula'achar misa. Why? So the Rashi explains, the gufa konele mehayoim. Shim rotza anoisen lemoichvay or litnin la'acher eina yocha. Come on, I already gave you the goof. I don't own it. Avo payrois lekonile hamakabel, but the makabel did not receive the payrois ad la'acher misa. This is lashon Rashi. This is some of the Rashbam by us too. Okay, it was an azuk the Rashba ve'eina mechuva. The Mike Kimashma, if that's the case, what's the big chiddush of Abai? Masnitni, we know there's such a thing. Where's it? The Mishnah Bar Basra, Kaisa Nechasel of Bnei La'achar Maisai, Tzarach Lichta by Me'ayim, Ula'achar Misa. This is the Mishnah here in Bar Basra. Thank you very much, Kufla Medvav Amid Aleph. So why does Abai have to tell me that there's such a thing like a Matna Shchimera? Thank you very much. That's question number one. Demai Kimashman, Masnitani. Kaisa Nechasel of Bnei La'achar Maisai, so Lichta B'ayim Ula'achar Misa. Machon Aben, Mechurim Kishi Yamus Ha'av. That's also found there. That's number one. Machon Aben Mechurim Kishi Yamus Ha'av. That's a brisa. Oid Kashali. That's question number one. That first question can be answered. I don't know how much you know the sugya. That question isn't that rough because hypothetically what Abai is doing is explaining the Agdara of Bayam La'achar Misa. The pshat is Eino Chinami. It's only Nigbar La'achar Misa, as opposed to other possibilities that's Nigma Yom with the Tnai. Okay, but so that kasha isn't such a strong question. The idea of equation to Matan Shchimra is telling you the quality, not the din, but the Agdara. Okay, but Oid Kashli Fek the Rashba Kasha, the Eina Kemat Shchimra. It's not like a Matan Shchimra. Why not? The Matan Shchimra Gufa Matana Eina Kanui Klal Ad La'achar Misa. By a Matan Shchimra, nothing happens La'achar Misa. Avokan Gufa Matana Kone Miachshav Elishishir Ba. What in the Matana Hanai saying Peres Ad Shashi Yamus. What's his question exactly? It's like a Matna Shchimra as far as the Peres are concerned. What's his question? How does Abaye equate? This Kashi is telling you the answer to the first question. What's he saying? What's Abaye teaching me? Yes, the getter of Mayam Lachar Misa is like a Matna Shchimra. L'chari it isn't. Why not? Because a Mayam Lachar Misa, what is it? There is a goof already given to you. Elamai, afterwards there's a shear in the peiros. Mashenke, Matna Shchivra, there's nothing now. What's the difference? We're talking about the matana that comes Achar Misa. No one thinks that the goof is Lachar Misa. We know the goof is Ma'ayoim. When we said it's done with the Matna Shchivra, we're talking about the peiros. So what's the kasha? What's the kasha? It's like a Matna Shchivra. What they get by Matna Shchivra? You did the Maisa now, okay, and the Chalais is Chal. Afterwards, even La'achar Misa. Okay? It's Chal now for La'achar Misa. No, whatever, that's a Takonis Chazal. So we just told you there's a din me'ikar, a din is something which is similar. That if you gave the goof now, and you Rashaya the Paris, then Memela automatically is the din of Memela. What's his question? We're talking about the peiros. I gave you the guf now. You have the peiros only lachar misa. And Adirabba, we have to ask the question, why does it work? Adirabba, it's why does it work, for goodness sakes? That he's not bothered with, but why is that not doimit matna shchimera? What's his kashik? And then you probably didn't see this, Minister. Read the question again. But kashili bod the ena kematna shchimera. The matna shchimera gufa matana in a kanui klal ad lachar misa. Nothing. Avalacha gufa matani koni miachshav. What's mean gufa matana? Did it say matnas haguf or gufa matana? What the language in the Rashba? Does it say that the matana of the guf, or it says gufa matana? Let's not get mixed up. He's talking about the whole matana, the matana of the guf and the peiros. Otherwise, what does the word gufa matana mean? If he means to say that the matnas haguf is michayim, the matnas hapeiros lachar misa, he wouldn't say gufa matana. No, he's saying gufa matana. What's he saying here? He's basically saying that he understands the getter vayom lachar misa is a getter. I am giving you everything, and everything is done now. What does that mean now? He's mishayer in the matana. Does he mean to say that shir means like chutz me'apeiros? So that once again, it's not gufa matana. The language is a steer mineu bay. What's the lashon? Gufa matana kanemi achshav ela shishir ba. What does ba mean? In the gufa matana hanais and peiros ad shashi yamus. If the word shishir ba says I gave you everything except for something, so then it's an oxymoron. You can't say that everything was given. It's just I said except for something. Well, I mean that's what you're saying. You didn't give it. What does it mean? Sheshir ba anaisei peiros ad shashiyamus. How does one read this Rashba like a intelligent human being? Did anybody learn Gittin? I think so. If anybody learned Gittin like the Sugya Pagir and Dibura, I think so. Those who did should remember the difference between chutz and shir. I think so. And if they would look, they would raise their hand and say, Rabbi, let me tell you what it means. I think so. So either people don't know, don't remember, Zari Lamoylach. At the end of the day, Vash Taten der Rashba, that shir is not chutz. When I say I'm mishayer peiros, it doesn't mean that I didn't give you the peiros. I gave you the gufam, I gave you everything. You are now the owner of everything. And yet I reserved a right of peiros. What does that mean? I reserved a right of peiros in what? In your ownership. That's what it means. I gave you everything, guf and peiros, yet I reserved the right of peiros for myself. I reserved it within your ownership. Otherwise, this Rashba makes no sense. And anybody who Babasar, the sugya in Gittin, Be'ir, with the parallel sugya in Babasar, this is like hot knife on butter. Okay, this is of Lashtet and Rashba. Okay, unless someone can offer me another explanation how to read this. That acharecha means that you have everything, but I'm mishayer the peiros for myself. Let's make mishayer zayin the peiros. So it's nice. This is for me a different pasha, but obviously people who did not learn Gittin, I would have to now sit and that's too much to ask for me. But that's why I sent you an achron. His name is Rabbi Akiva Eger. You must have heard of him. He's a renowned fellow. Okay, so I sent you Rabbi Akiva Eger. Do you see Rabbi Akiva Eger that I sent you? Open up the Rabbi Akiva Eger on your phones. That was I sent yesterday. It's in Madura Tinyana Simon Peiches. It's brought down here in this Chidushi Rabbi Akiva Eger Anoshim Nezikin I have over here, but the mice is in the Chuvas. Let me find it for a moment. Yeah. Reb Kiva Eiger, I sent, there's a machlokes here between him and his friend, the Beis Meir, and we're not going into it, okay? This is something which you should read on your own. It'll give you a bigger insight. I just want to get the insight that I need from this Rajba. With the greatest respect, I need Reb Kiva Eiger to help you understand the Rajba. Honestly, I don't, you know what I mean? That's why I'm quoting him. And that's why I sent it. I don't need you to now make shticklich Torah, the machlokes Reb Kiva Eiger and the Beis Meir. I need to understand the Rajba. That's what I need to know. So if you look at the column that I sent you, there's a different amas, a paragraph which says, Heshafti, I answered. This is a retort, a reply to the das of the Mayor Posner, the Beis Meir. There were four good friends you really want to know. One was Reb Kiva Eiger and Posner. The other was Beis Meir, Reb Meir Posner, those two. The third one was Reb Yaakov Loberbaum, the Nesivus. And the fourth one was Reb Shlomo Zalman Lifshitz, which was the Chemda Shloima. They are constantly in correspondence. If you know your Reb Kiva Eigers, you'll see them. Those are the four good friends. Yeah, but they're like the four pillars of the world, okay? But this is Reb Kiva Eiger, the Beis Meir, the Nesivus, and the Chemda Shloima. In that paragraph, it says, Shafti, I'm going to go to the second line. Gama shekosef balas kfay teirasoi da'in de mayom yakoneli aguf levadoi ul acher misa yugmar leperis lo yadati kiven da aguf koneli mayom be'eze schus yoichel anoich sem peris ha godlu besada shel zeh. I don't know what you want. Why would I get the peris if they grew in your guf? What does that mean? The Meshayir Mokem Paris. I'm Meshayir the Kenyan in the goof for the Paris. Not that I have the Paris. How can you have the Paris if they grew in the goof for the other fellow? It means you're Meshayir the Mokem Paris. It means the Karka for the Paris. What does that mean? How would you get it retroactively? You can only get it then. And not the question, if that's the case, the guy's dead. How can you get it? I don't begin to understand what you're asking me. Immediately when a guy said and he was mocked in the Sada, what everything. I gave you you have the goof and the peiros. You have everything. You have the goof and the goof for the peiros. Ostalos. Rak shemishayir la'atzmei hakarka lizchus zeh. He's mishayir the karka not for a bailim but for the schus lechol peiros shegadol b'chayev. When you use the word schus versus bailus, it means to say it's what? It's like a shibud. And you need to do a little further. Uki'ilu chazar hamekabel v'nosan lo yischuzeh. Yes, the mikabel received everything and then gave back a schus of his to the other fellow as long as he's alive. I gave you a schus in mine. In other words, you believe the total bailam is the makabel. Elamai, the makabel basically gave the notion a schus in what the makabel owns. You don't own the peiros. The peiros belong to the makabel. Elamai, now there's like a shibud. I gave you the right to eat my peiros. It's not your peiros, it's my peiros. You have a right in my peiros. You have your bala peiros in my guf. That's what this is. Uki'ilu chaza makabel v'nosan le'schus zeh. V'achar misas ha'naisen, and after the naisen passes on, the paka schus zeh, because this schus was only for a lifetime. Memela kola makabel. Why? Because he's the balaguf for peiros. In other words, the sibas ha'peiros, which lies in the guf, belongs to the makabel. When? Immediately. What is the sibas ha'peiros? The guf. The guf is the siba of peiros. I have that immediately. Elamai dot the halacha. The halacha is, what do we say? we say that basically I gave you rights in my Sibas HaPeiros for the Peiros. When I give you rights of usage in my ownership, what does that mean to say? You can call it what you want. You can call it a Shutfus Michaim just in Peiros. I'm the Baal Guf and you're the Baal, you're not the Baal Sibas HaPeiros, you're Baal HaPeiros. That's all you are. You're the Baal HaPeiros. Or you can call it, it's a Schus, not a Bailis, because the Bailis is in the Sibas HaPeiros. So that's what Kvege writes. Kilo Chazar Makabel v'Nosnei Schuzeh v'Acha Mises HaNoisen the Poka Schuzeh Memela Kol HaMakabel Kemo HaNoten L'Chaveri Karka L'Peiros Kol Yemei Chayav Ubora. What happens if I gave my friend a Karka L'Peiros L'Chayav? What does it mean? What did I give him? The Karka is mine. You have Peiros. We pass now Locha Ki and Peiros Lavke Gi I do to me. You have Peiros in my Karka as long as you're alive. As soon as you're not alive, the fact that I own the karka means I own the peiros. Because I'm the chatchila, the Baal Siba of the peiros. That's Reb Kiva. Now, I did see, and the truth is, that wouldn't do for me. But this is a Rashba. Because otherwise, I don't know how to read this Rashba. Tosaf state in the Rashba, read the Rashba again. But the Eina Kematna Shchivmara. Why isn't it like a Matna Shchivmara? In Matna Shchivmara, you gave the guy nothing now. You can give him anything. The din is it's all yours now, totally. Adirabba, if you woke up, if you didn't die, it doesn't happen. If you died, we say now it works. It's mamish lacher misa. Adirabba, it's a pella bishtam, it's a chivsachshon, and the mises of Chazal decided through Efkebez and Efke to give it to you. But you're going to say to chshon and the chais, how can we have it? How does it work? Right to Efkebez and Efke. They decided to take away from you and give to him. This is one of the makars that Hefker Bez and Hefker is not just a mafkir from somebody, it's also an estina for somebody. They shailen Reb Kivegir tak in Simon Reish Chav Aleph and Reish Chav Beis. Where the Hefker Bez and Hefker is a sipa for Afkar, also a sipa for Hakna. Reb Shlomo Eiger times it's telling the makars of Hefker Bez and Hefker. In the Gemara and Daf Lamed Zayin and Gittin. Is that important? This is a famous shaila. And this is the what we have from here. If you understand that basically by Matna Shchimra, there's nothing happening because you're dead and everything happens later. There's no Makna and not even a Bailim and Afal became the Tzchal, Metis Hefker Bezin Hefker. The Bishas Misa became yours. I look her Bishas Misa becomes to my Yorshim. No, Dosh Keit Hefker Bezin Hefker. It's not the Yorshim, it's yours. Okay. So that's what he says. The gufa matana of what? Of everything is konimi achshav. Elishashir bo. What in the matana and in the gufa matana, which means the total matana, he was mishayer. The lashon of shir, very similar to the idea of under Kiveger, because shir doesn't mean chutz. Shir means I gave you everything, but I have a right in what I gave you. This is something we developed very heavily when we learned the sugi over there. Daf Tesam Beis Yud. The sugi. Again, the boy and get it. Shishir bar nice in Paris at Shashiyamus. So he says, if that's the case, one has nothing to do with the other. He finally comes and says, therefore, something totally different. He said what Abaya means. If you want to get a little further in this Rashba Mitzvah, so what does Abaya mean when Rabbi is equating Matan Shchivra to Hayom L'Achar Misa? Hayom L'Achar Misa is not like a Matan Shchivra at all. It's a Matan, a Gemura with a Shir. Mashenki and Matan Shchivra, there's no Matan to begin with. So he says, no, Abai is not talking about the Yom L'Achar Misa in the classical sense. But near in Divrei Rabbeinu Tam, this is Taisus on the spot there. It's found in the Sefer Yashar. Shapirish Delikani Klal Ad L'Achar Misa. In the case of a Yom L'Achar Misa, where he mamish is not kind at all L'Achar Misa. Now, how is it possible? My Yom L'Achar Misa is definitely kind as a goof. Shaloi Kani Klal. What's the case? We keep going. I'm doing a Maisa now, but the whole chalois happens later. That's a t'nai. So the whole Maisa was done now, and there's a t'nai. What's the t'nai? The t'nai is my Misa. The t'nai is my misa. That means the mice and the chales are now, but there's a t'nai, so there can't be chal without the t'nai. The gufa, the t'nai says that what? That the chales works. Once you the kiyum a t'nai, why is it yours? Because of what happened in the beginning. that they get of the tonight. Okay, so very good. That's how it works. So he said that would be a case. In such a case, Rashba continues, don't think that that's what the pshat is in the words Vayom Lachar Misa. If you think that's the word Vayom Lachar Misa, every Vayom Lachar Misa should be like that. It shouldn't be a matana gemur with a shir. You should say what it is. It's a matana with a chalosh mishut with a tnai, and the tnai is the misa. Why do I say this? Soon we're going to see the Ramban learns that way in the Balamor. So what does he say? Sheilu kosev le'ma'ayom lachar misa vaday gufa konali mihashta. Vaday gufa konali mihashta. No, they definitely calling the gufna. Upeira lachar misa kidisa aslim shili yeshleichlim. Must make peira lachar misa because that's when the shear goes away. That's what we have to add. Otherwise, it doesn't add up what he said 2 lines ago. You really have to look at this Rashba inside. This is a key to understanding what's happening here. He says, although there are things in the Gemara which are using similar language with 2 totally different things, and this is one of them. So this is a very interesting Rashba, which he goes away from Shitas Rashi, and he learns Taka, the word Hayom Lachar Misa in Bamitzir Yutes, not like the Mishnah by Yas and Kuf Lamed Vav. At all, in Hayom Lachar Misa means a matana gemur with a tnai. Mashenkin by a regular Hayom Lachar Misa, it's not a getter of tnai. What's the getter of the Allah? It's a getter of what the Kiyim Mishuya. It's a getter of Kiyim Mishuya. This is the what's happening here. It is this which I would like to discuss. I'd like to discuss in our sugya. In our sugya proper, in Kuf Kaf Hey, we know I mentioned already yesterday, there's a machlekes between the Rashbam and the Rif versus the Razah. So now I want to see again this Rashbam and go to the Razah. When Rava said the halacha, the Gemara V'staver Tamayud of name Rava. What did Rava mean? So we know Shita's Rashbam is what? Let's look at the Rashbam. V'staver Tamayud of name Rava. The Chashiv Leroy Legababas Lemuzik. The Lekalei Mekavim Me'achshav Dami. We don't say the pshat is that Ka'imim Me'achshav Dami in a case where what? Where he said acharecha l'safta, we don't say acharecha l'safta equals like hayoim l'achar misa safta. Because if it would be my yoim l'achar misa safta, what would it be? It would be goof to the bas and peiros to the safta. So he says that's not true. Why the hayin kadmas kena b'chayo machal achreirim zvina it's a sold. Ukshetam was smash machar when she dies, whatever is sold is sold. What's he involving us into? He's actually, he might say machlekes atanoim. What is this story? It's a machlekes atanoim. Let's look at the Gemara if you don't mind. Daf Kuf Lamed Zayin Amid Aleph. The Gemara says in Daf Kuf Lamed Zayin Amid Aleph. Okay, this is the sugya of Reb Shimon Gamliel and Rebbe. The first line, the Sanya Nichsei Lecha. It's like Nichsei L'Savta. V'acharecha, and after Savta Leplani, to my heir. V'yored Arishon equals, let's do the parallel Savta. Umocha, and sold. V'ochal, Hashen, ochal, it's eaten up. He ate the money, there's nothing left. Hasheni moitzi mi'ada lekuchas. The sheni is moitzi mi'ada lekuchas. Here, the bas can take from the lekuchas. Divi Rebbe. Reb Shimon ben Gamliel ein l'sheni l'mashishia rishon. Ein l'sheni l'mashishia rishon. This is the machlekes of Rebbe Reb Shimon Gamliel. So what Rashbam is basically telling us, we pass our halacha like Reb Shimon Gamliel, as pointed out here in the Rashbam before by Le'edja, the speaker Rashbam over here in the Ramaschal Tanya. Okay, and therefore, what is the Nekudas HaMachlekes there, Chagav? What's the Nekudas HaMachlekes? So what's the Nekudas HaMachlekes? So the Gemara says. Look at the Rashbam. So the Rashbam, the Sanya, Rebbe Svirle, Lav Kiki, and let's start from the beginning. The Gemara wants to say that there's a machlekes Rabbi Yochanan and Rish Lakish, whether ki and Paris Kiki and a guftami or not. The Gemara wants to say this is the machlekes of Rebbe Reb Shimon Gamliel. Okay, so what is the machlekes? So let's read this. What this the machlekes? Nichsei lach machrecha leplaini. The Yared Rishon Umacha v'Achal Hasheni Moitzi Me'al Lekuchas Divrei Rebbe. Reb Shimon Gamliel Emer Ein L'Sheni Mashishi Arisha. Sagt die Gemara, dort Rashbam, Tanoi. Let me just find it. So yeah, what starts. I'm going to stop that for a minute. Yes, in the last 3-4 lines of that Rashbam. Tad Kulaimer, Ike Tanoi de Pliga Bekian Peris the Rishon, Ike Kiyan Aguf Dami Oilai. Vanos Fili, Kimandama Kiyan Aguf Dami. It's a Machlaikis Tanoi. The Sanya, Rebbe Sfirle. This is a Rebbe that says that what? That the Sapta can sell, and so to speak, but the Bas can be Mitzi from the Lakuchas. The Rebbe Sfirle, Lav Kiyan Aguf Dami. And as we understand it, Eina Chinami, that the daughter has the guf and the sapta has the peiros, but ki and peiros lavka ki and a guf dummy. Ba'ach brayse the tani yavzu liyoshi nice and Rebbe. Reb Shimon Sfilke ki and a guf dummy. Ba'ach the tani yoshi rishon Reb Shimon. I'll show that soon in a minute. Ba'nas Sfilke Reb Shimon. Behind the pasuk Reb Yochanan and the Kaman Alach Reb Shimon. Mueller is shlokish. That's what I need. Lav ki and peiros ki and a guf dummy. Pligi. El lekula alma lav ki and a guf dummy. Uba pligi. This is la halacha. Rabbi Sava acharecha nami kiyin pairs ba'almo to Easter la Rishon. When you say acharecha, so the Savta only has kiyin pairs. Hilkach sheni meitzim yada lakuchas. Heiche demes sheni yachzu liyosh neisei. The kiyin pairs lavka kiyin aguf dami. Very simple. Since basically we say that what? You only had key in Peris Safta, and now you have the key in a goof. So then obviously the sheni is meant to be out of the kuchas. And since you're really the Baal Haguf, and you might be out of the kuchas, therefore what happens if sheni dies? So who's it going to go to? It's not the Safta only had Peros, and key in Peris is not key in a goof. So who owns the goof? For goodness sakes. It only owns the goof. Acharecha, the point you have the goof. Let's say you're not around to accept that goof. So who's it go back to? To the original Baal Haguf. Okay, therefore we said what the halacha sheni mezia la kucha ve'yasu yoshe noisei. The key in Paris, not the key in a goof dummy. There's no reason for the yoshe sapta to get this. She only has Paris, and I have the goof. And the goof was given to the boss when after for the boss for having it when after the sapta is dead. There is no boss, so there's no kim of acharecha. There's no acharecha. He made a matana with an acharecha, and there is no acharecha. The arecha didn't play out, so Mamela, it all goes back to me. Reb Shimon Gamliel Sover be'alma kiyim peres lavke kiyim aguf tami. V'hocha acharecha shani. V'guf u'peres akna l'rishon. Guf u'peres akna l'rishon. Read it carefully. Hilkoch ein la sheni l'mashishir rishon. When a person does acharecha, what does it mean? Is he saying guf l'sheni v'peres l'rishon? Or are you saying guf u'peres l'rishon? Ve'echad demes sheni yachzu l'yoshe rishon. Why? Because she's bound the guf and the peres. V'chein iker. The hashto le'tikshi ichsa ichsa said, no, right, that's more than enough for you. What I have is one big yisod. What's the machlaikis? The machlaikis basically is when a person says acharecha. Do we say that the guf belongs to the sheni and the peres to the rishon? Or we say no, that the rishon has both the guf and the peres, and only there's a din of achas money go to the sheni. That the machlekes Reb Shimon Gamliel and Rabban and Rabbi. According to Reb Shimon Gamliel, the sapta has the guf and the peres, therefore she can sell it all. And if there's anything left, then the din is it goes to the acharecha. And that acharecha happens later. It's but not for later. Mashenk and country Rebbe, no, the guf belongs to the acharecha and the peres belongs to the sapta. The mela, she can't sell. She can't be mafkia her guf. She can't do a mechir which will mafkia the guf. Therefore, she's l'keach min al kufa. So what exactly has Rashbam taught me? Rashbam simply told me here in Daf Kuf Chafei, we paskin like Reb Shimon ben Gamliel. Derech Agav, and we paskin halacha like Rish Lakish. Derech Agav, also true. So Mamela, as Rashbam elaborates over here, Takin Kuf Tam Zayin Amidal. So Mamela, it's very clear. If we say that Sapta can sell it, and basically, and we need to say, and the bas cannot be mitzim al lakuchas equals we pass Reb Shimon Gamliel, not Rebbe. This is a raya that the guf and the peres belong to Sapta. That's all. That's a right. The goof and the payers belong to Sapta. That's a davar pasha. The acharecha means the goof and the payers belong to the Sapta. So don't tell me if that's the case. You can't tell me that the bash is called a mukzik. She's not a mukzik. She doesn't have anything. This is what the Rashbam says. This is what he said. Mustafa time my Rava says once it's sold, it's a davar pasha that the goof and the payer. If she can sell it, that means the goof and the payers belong to Sapta. The goof and the payers belong to Sapta. We pass the B'Shim Gamliel, and therefore you're not mitzvah lakufas. This is Shittas Rashbam. The Razah has another take here, and let's look at the Razah inside. So the Balamar, the Razah, has totally another take. Yeah, this is in page Kuf Mem Zayin in the Rif Ois V'Hadar. Again, he says, the Rif says the same thing that the Rashbam. I'll read it from the third line. Omer Ablazer Davar the Nifta B'Gdayim in this time B'Ktanim Kol Ha'im Ha'Charechem Ha'Achshu Dami V'Les Hilchas HaKavasei. We don't say Ka'achshav Dami. That means that now you have the goof and the parasha later. V'Daikinim Mena Time Adama Acharecha. Who never roy? Ha'Omer Mi'achshav Muzik Have V'Yos Leibal. Zok the Balamor. Ubemaisa the Safta Kosav Arif the less Hilchas HaKavuna. The Omer Kolaima Acharecha Kerem Mi'achshav Dami. V'Daikinim Mena Time Adama Acharecha Omer Mi'achshav Muziku Bal Yorsle. I don't think this is acceptable. The Adkan like Idchad Rav Huna Elam Mishum the Kivan the Ikon Masapta Vazavnas Vina Royu never said that we argue with the principle of Kol Ma'acharecha Kerem Me'achshav Dami. No, we do accept it. Kol Ma'acharecha Kerem Me'achshav Dami. We do paskin Reb Elazar. Equals obviously he has another take in understanding the Machlekes of Shimon Gamliel and Rebbe. Because now we're talking about that the Sugin Daf Kof Kof A takes for granted that we all call him Me'achshav Dami. Okay, that's clear. And what the Oyin Afkamina? Look what he says. Now, obviously, there can't be a machlekes of Rebbe and Reb Shimon Gamliel the way the Rashbam explains it, because there's no way Rav Huna is a machlekes Tanon. So it's very clear he has another take in that Suyin Kuf Lamed Zayin too. We have to read that. Rav Huna namele poligahai the ikad masapta zvina zvina. Will they ashkuna more the poligale? The ha bein the Reb Yochanan ben Rishtak is kaimel halach Reb Shimon Gamliel. We know the halach of Reb Shimon Gamliel, so why would you think otherwise? And Reb Shimon Gamliel said that what and the sheini the mashishir arishon, so they can be sold. So if that's what Rav Huna is saying, is Rav Huna is not going against Reb Shimon Gamliel. What is Rav Huna saying? Ela kesava Rav Huna di kod masapta v'zavnas vinas vina. Kivan the hashta mia ha lois vina v'cholai machrecha kerem mi'achshav dami mugzuku v'loi royu ubal yoresoisa. At the moment, it's not sold. At the moment, you're a mugzik. And since you're a mugzik, the daughter, if the husband is called a yoirish. And therefore, if you're zaycha, it's not called roy, it's called mugzik. V'rabba, the farish tamayid name Rav Aliba dinafshei. Svirle kol hechedi kodim v'zavas vinas vina lav mugziku. Ela roy. Hilkoch afagav dema mi'achshav nami royu. Now, what's the pshat of this? Well, if the Ramban has his tape, but let me tell you, what is the chayr of the pashtus? One would say the fact of the matter is that the ownership of your hand, at the end of the day, you don't have control of it. It depends totally on the sapta. So this is the beget of svina b'lev yam. And if you get a svina b'lev yam, you're not called muslik, it's called roy. Now, this goes into another question: is svina b'lev yam a chisorin by a baal? L'chayr not. Bishlam by poor the dinavim matzeh, etc. So there's a halacha. This is not called the matzeh. You don't have total control by shvina b'lev yam. La yashkachna b'shum duchna that shvina b'lev yam should be a chisorin by a baal. By baal the chisorin is not the matzeh. We told you the swerve is because you can't. The sort of Yerushas Abal is what? Because he is the extension of the wife. It depends what she has. He has what she doesn't have, which will come, but she doesn't have at the moment. He doesn't have. But that's all good, but something which he wasn't Yerush yet, it belongs to Mr. X, granddaddy, and Eina Chanami, it only comes to her after Misa, so we say, no, that's called Roy. But something, for example, if she has basically, has a schus moment, it's hers totally. Elamai, she doesn't control it. There should be a chesron, a svina b'lev yam by a Baal. That's the her, the pella here. So what does the Balamor mean when the Balamor says that although Lamaisa, she owns it, but since Sapta can sell it, it's called Roy and not Mugzit. The only parallel l'chayr would be Svina b'lev yam kimavur b'Rambam. That only makes sense by the Roy of a Pchor, as we explained. But the Chson Roy of a Baal, as we explained by Chov and Shir, this doesn't fit. And we haven't found such a din. Now, the possibility is to say that he has a total different take of the Roy of a Baal than we have, which is legitimate. But now we have to see what other Rishonim say. This is the major issue. What is the pshat in this Baal Amor? The Altatama, let's see what he asks. According to his question, we can somehow figure out what he means. So he says as follows: V'altatama im anu aimrim she'efsher shetivatel hamatana afal pi shomer mi'achshav. Don't say, how is it possible that he said mi'achshav and yet she can be mevatel the matana? Amadna lashon bittul hamatana. Okay, a bittul of the matana. How can you be mevatel the matana? If I have something, how can you sell it to be mevatel my matana? How can I say that is true that Kimi Achshav and Sapta can sell? The Gemara daf kuf lamed vav. La'acher Moisei shu kaisav le'mayom la'acher misa. Svir le'Reb Yochanan she'efsher tizbatla matana. Kigain machar haben b'chaye ha'av. What's the case? The father gets the nittel acher ma'isai. So what are we going to say? We're going to say that the what? How do we understand that the payers to the father and the guf to the son? And what does he hold? If the son did not realize the payers, the male since his payers by the father, he never realized it, batla matana. Why? Well, I guess we have to understand that Gemara to understand this parallel. He's drawing a parallel to the Gemara Daf Kuf Lamed Vav Amid Aleph. We'll see in a minute. You know what's he doing? He's drawing a parallel to a Gemara and explaining this is the lumdus here, not telling it what it is. So I'm sure that if you learned this Balamor, you basically went there to see Pshat in the Gemara Daf Kuf Lamed Vav. Well, let's go a little further, see how the Ramban understood him. So he says, go to the bottom paragraph, V'im Taima. Ma'ishta hachad b'hoda amrina afagav da'amale mi'achshav ikod mesavta v'zavna zvina zvina u'ma'ishta gab b'kaisav nechasav v'bnei la'acher ma'isai the amrina ma'acher av mechurim ad shiyamas v'sulai shuvascha mishum da'amrina ba'ishmaitza acharecha shani. That's Kuf Lamed Vav Amid Beis. V'su amrina in Kuf Lamed Zayin el acharecha nami tanoi kloimar Ben Reb Yochanan ben Rish Lakish acharecha shani. Va'afilo amalei mi'achshav efsher sheyimchar v'yochel harishayin ve'ein la'sheni klum. Why? Now here he tells us a svara. Shekivin she'amar larisha nichsei lach guf uperish hiknalei kishem she'ayu knuyim la'nais no'ever nichsei lach. As soon as they use the language nichsei lach, that language, then you have everything I have. That's the Yisrael. Nichsei lach means I gave you everything. Nichsei lach, uguf upers, kishem shem knuyim la'nais no'ever nichsei lach. V'af agav da'amalei v'acharecha me'achshav leploni. Ein la'sheni el'mashashir ha'rishon. Why? V'arehu kimi she'omerlei kishetered b'nechasim she'yishayir l'cha rishon knem me'hayoyim. What does that mean? This is the key sentence. He is now explaining. Let's do this carefully. He started by paralleling it to the Gemara over there by Kaiser Nechasav Ne'acher Maisai, Hayem L'Acher Misa. Then he came further. He wanted, if that's the case, why is it by Sapta she can sell forever? Mashenkin, when the father does this to the child, he can't forever. So he said the klal is one thing. Once he then says Nichsei Loch, basically I gave Nichsei Loch, I gave to Sapta, Guf and Beirus, gave everything. And what happens afterwards? Wakav that I L'Chayre Hayem L'Acher Misa means it's Me'achshav. That's the case. I gave it to the child also. What I gave him is only the Shiroyim. How did you give him the Shiroyim? So what does the Rajlashon of the Balamar? How do you translate that word? When you will go down, you will, exert your ownership on whatever's left that you acquire mihayoy. Does it mean to say he's selling him now a davar she'eina mesuyam? He's selling him a davar she'eina. There ain't nothing there. So what is he giving now? A matana she'eina mesuyames? Is that what it means? I am now giving you whatever will be left, but there may be nothing left. Anybody learn Gittin here? Well, then you know there's no keen of a Sada Shena Mesuyim. Anybody learn this? I don't know if you remember these things. Or Baba Basra again. Okay, was make the Balamar. So I want to look in the Mechamis a little bit, just to see what the Mechamis has to say. The Mechamis goes to war here, and he asks quite a few important questions. One question we could look here, look at the Mechamis in Divra Maschel v'oid lama in Abal Yosha. Mikivan shemesa saptele moche iglel milsa d'b'shash matone konsul muziku. V'afa pisha isa yichula limkor shafilu pirshla kidvarecha v'omar kishetereid b'nechasim shishel charishon knama hayom muziku. Why? V'lo matzinu t'nai b'ma'achshav shivat l'klum min ha'maisa. V'ushi yiskayim. V'afili in gittin m'gureshim shas nesina legamre kivish in yiskayim t'nai d'me'achshav. V'afa pishin yiskari hageto ovad inami shemesu or shemesi. How does he understand? How does he understand the Balamor? He understands the Balamor. The pshat is it's a kinyu with a t'nai. He understands the pshat in Balamor is I'm giving you everything now, but t'nai. What's the t'nai? Shetered l'mokad. The king is an adav muchad on everything, but t'nai that you will go down to a mishuyer. And if there won't be any mishuyer, there's no kiyam at t'nai. If there's no kiyam at t'nai, you don't have anything left. I am giving you now everything for the mishuyer. The t'nai is that the t'nai, kisha tered la mishuyer. So what happens when you go into the mishuyer? You're mekayim the t'nai. Once you're mekayim the t'nai, whatever is left, whatever is a mishuyer, that's what t'nai is mekayim on. In other words, whatever you go down to, that's the kiyam at t'nai. Whatever was sold and you can't go down to it, you weren't mekayim the t'nai on that. Memele, it's not yours. I give you everything, but t'nai, you should be able to realize it. Whatever you can realize that the t'nai is miskayim, the mekich is chal. Whatever is sold that you can't realize that t'nai is not miskayim and the mekich is not chal. That's how the Ramban explains the Razah. Look at the word. That's why he said a beautiful question. He said it's not a t'nai of bittul, it's a t'nai of kiyum. So if that's the case, what's the sweat? You have it now. Elamai, once you're mekayim the t'nai, you always had it. Why would that not be called muzik, for goodness sakes? Why would that be called muzik? Bishleim would be a t'nai of bittul, the t'nai which says if you do this is mavatal the ma'isa. So you can say, well, if you can't fulfill it, that's mavatal the kiyum mafreya. No one ever said that. It's not a t'nai of bittul, it's a t'nai of kiyum. What am I saying? I am giving you everything, but now you should be able to if you will realize you'll be able to exert your ownership practically on it. So whatever you exert your ownership practically on it, that's the t'nai. Therefore, you own it. Whatever you practically can't exert the ownership, memela, you weren't the kind of time. Memela, it didn't work. Look at the Ramban carefully. Let's see it again. Klema. Look at the Ramban. Afa pisha oisa yichayil limka afilu pirush lekidvarecha. Va'amak sheteret kidvarecha like the balamoyek sheteret b'nechasim sheishaya lecharishan knam me'ayoyim murzuku v'loy matzinu tnai b'me'achshav sheyivatel klum min ha'maisa v'u sheyiskayim. As long as there's a tnai kiyum, this is what it works. There's no bittul here. Va'afiluli and gita megureshes mishas nesina legamra. If I make a get, they get now, and I say that I'm not, that you should jump rope. Okay, once you jumped rope, to get to the get, everything's chal. Kiva shidus kaim at night, the miachshov. The alpha pishin skara get to ovad. I don't need the ma'aseh later. No, it's a time mekayim. The ma'aseh then I need a kiyum. Nami shemes hu or shemes it doesn't matter. The gershon's a gershon. This is a tremendous question. This is a big question of the Ramban. What did the kasha to begin with? Well, but that's how we understand the Razah. It's clear as day the Razah didn't mean this. Because the Razah meant it. Why would he have to go in somersaults and bring me rayas from here, from there? It's a bisa bekutra. The Razah never meant the Neitnoim. What did he mean? That's what we have to deal with. It didn't mean Dinit Noim. The Ramban understood it as Dinit Noim. And the Ramban asked another question on that, actually. Look at the Divrei Masav. He asked a beautiful question from Esther, but I'm not sure you know the Gemara. So let's go to the last paragraph on this line. Oid, Hashalach Rav Achabar Avira. It's a Gemara of Kuflam and Gimel. The Divrei Rav Yechim Breika. Yechim Breika says that a person can make a t'nai to give Yerusha to anybody which is a halachically a Yerush. You can say you're the Yerush and no one else. It can't make someone outside of the family a Yerush, but Rabbi Yechim Breika said you can designate one Yerush at the exclusion of others as long as he is in the parish of Yerusha. So Rabbi Yechim Breika nichse lach v'acharecha lepleni. If he said nichse lach v'acharecha lepleni, v'arishon roy liyorsha. The first one is the roy liyorsha. So what happens at that stage? According to Yechon and Braika, as soon as he's royal Yarsha, he now has it midin Yerusha. Not because of Matana anymore. As soon as he said Nichser Lach, it means now I'm a Yerush. And once I'm a Yerush, there's no Hefsik, there's no Acharecha. If I only owned it because you gave him Matana, so there's an Acharecha. But if I owned it because you basically designated me as a Yerush, there is no Acharecha. So Rav Achabar says that if he said Nichser Lach, this is the Gemara. It's a Gemara at the bottom of Kuflam Megim Lamed Aleph. Ein kan Yerusha shasheni kaina me'achshav. V'kiven shekaina me'achshav ein hefsek Yerusha shleichal of Shem Yerush kaina la'achrin and la'achrin kaina me'achshav v'arishon ein a Yerush shma minei shacharecha lav kaina me'achshav. What did it be? And he said, tremendous question. How can you tell me that what acharecha is k'miachshav? If acharecha is k'miachshav, if that's the case, when was the sheni? I said nichse lach v'acharecha the sheni. When was the sheni kind? It was kind of immediately before the death. Here he has everything. Elamites a t'nai that he has to be yored l'nechasim. So Manavshech, if that's the case, his bailus was before the Yerusha. How can the Gemara tell me once is Yerusha and Lahefsek? He owns it before the Torah Yerusha. That's the kasha the Ramban. And if the kasha, if it's a getter of t'nai, how is it possible to say that the Rishon, once the Rishon has it, there's no sheni at all? What are you talking about? The sheni always has it before. Elamai, we're waiting for a milah t'nai. So how can you say in Lahefsek? If he's the Bailing Gemara, you can't say in Lahefsek. You can't be getting me Torah Yerusha. You can only have a Torah kind of, because the fact of the matter is I'm a Bailing on it for later. That's the kasha of the Ramban. All this is based on the Ramban's Hanacha. It's a getter of t'nai. I repeat again, if we read the Razah, we see that's not the issue on the table. That's not what he mentions. That's true. He used t'nai as a dogma. If you look carefully in the Lashon, uses t'nai as an example. But clearly it's not based on the halacha of t'nai. Therefore, we now have to understand what is the dasa Razah? What is the pshita of the Razah? How is it possible to have me'achshav and yet someone can sell it? What according to the Razor is the Pshat and the Machlekes of Rebbe Reb Shimon Gamaliel and Daf Kuf Lamed Zayin? This is the question on the table now. What is the Pshat and the Razor? To understand this, it's obviously at the moment we're going to have to go back again to the basic Yesodus of what is the Machlekes of Rabbi Yochanan and Rish Lakish. I need you to be conversant at least in the Gemara, Daf Kuf Lamed Vav Amid Aleph, the last two lines, and all of Kuf Lamed Vav Amid Beis. If you can do that and you can be conversant in that, we can have a good time tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow. We're going to do Gemara tomorrow, right? As long as it's mutter to do this part of Yesh Nochlin, I'm going to do it. It's probably going to have to be the last one. We're going to do Gemara tomorrow at 6 o'clock. So know this Kuf Lamed Vav Amid Beis clearly, and then we'll do the Ramban and the Razor inside. It'll be very nice. Have a great evening. Pleasure seeing you. Bye. This is hard. Bye.